Hello, my name is Andrew Matlock, and this is week 2 of public speaking. And I am trying to put together an evaluation critique on a Miss Nancy Duarte, which is the TED Talk that I picked. I figured being we're studying her and as well as Gar Reynolds, I wanted to go straight to the source and watch somebody in their element of someone we're supposed to be learning from. And I found a TED Talk of hers called "You Have the Power to Change the World." I figured we all going to get a chance to do that by going to college and trying to change our own worlds by getting a degree, and therefore, changing the world around us because we're trying to participate in that world. Question 2 asks, how did the speaker capture the attention of the audience in her introduction? Well, that being said, she come out and she was, I'm really glad to be here, and started pointing at the audience and trying like, oh, you, I'm glad to see you, kind of thing. And so, with simultaneously, doing that with the audience, basically, and raising her hands to the air like, hi, I'm glad to meet you. And I thought that's pretty neat by, kind of like a celebrity or a rock star coming out on stage. And so, question B, adding to that, says, how did the speaker maintain and engage the audience throughout the speech? Well, she just stayed animated. She stayed stayed movement. She didn't use her slideshow as a shield. She more or less used it as an aid to help tell her story of what she was trying to tell the audience. So, and that being said, I mean, she's trying to tell a story. So, number 3 says, which of the 10 Commandments uh, did she use for the TED? And it basically, she told a story. It says, "Thou shalt tell a story," which is basically, she says that over and over again, about telling a story and be personable. And it says, so she gave her presentation in a story format. And I believe this helped to, better for the audience to understand what she was trying to say and convey, and hopefully when they understood it, they would in turn spread her message. That sounds pretty reasonable to me. So there you go. As far as the evaluation on 4, I give her a 4 because I figured, hey, everybody's not perfect and everybody can use room for improvement. Even though she's doing it, I figured, she could use room for improvement. I mean, she's always going to give a better speech, and she's always looking for that BBD, that bigger and better deal. So I feel like that, 4 was perfect because, again, for her, because no one's perfect. So there you go. Uh, Question 5 says, what tips would I use from the Garden and Nancy Duarte? Well, the tips I would use is what I got from her is make a human connection with your audience in a passionate manner by creating a solid impression on an emotional level. Now, again, that's a handful, that's a mouthful. I wrote that out, from from watching what she was saying, but not those not her words; these are mine. And that being said, it was a mouthful, but in essence, she wants you to be passionate about what you're talking about, and she wanted you to make that human connection. And if you make the human connection, then you've won your audience over, and they're gonna stand up there and listen. So let's go on to question 6. How about how what have I learned about delivery based upon watching my presenter? Well, I watched her. She explained about being a storyteller, and you take your audience with you, you know, on a basically what she demonstrated as a ladder, which was way she designed a speech. She was talking about speeches, which I think everybody should see this video because of that. She explained it like a kind of like a she didn't call it a ladder, but I would call it a ladder because she talked about a what is starting out at a low point, and then she came up to a higher point and says what could be. And this went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what I thought was really cool about it is that she compared both Stephen Jobs, the guy from Apple, and also she compared the speech from Martin Luther King. Two different speeches, two different worlds, but basically the same format. Which to me it seemed like, and she was using the same format. So it was like, well, okay, this is how to give a speech. I'm not a real good speech teller, but this is the best I can do at this point. Uh, Again, she was able to explain in a story manner and taking her audience to the top rung, where it left them with a ball of hope. 7, as far as comparing her to Sir Ken Robinson, they're both exactly the same, except he was a little more laid back. They both told their joke. They both told their little stories and stuff like that. Again, story element to their speech. But again, he was a little more laid back, and plus with the accent, you just kind of wanted to listen anyway. So accents, in my opinion, kind of sell, give you another extra edge on telling stuff. So um, that being said, they both told it in a story format, and in their bare bones, they were both exactly the same. Eight's cool because you're asking me to give my classmates, some tips. Well, what I learned from the video was I'd say watch the video. That's the first thing I would say. First thing's watch that video. If anything you're going to watch that video about giving a speech, and I'll post the link here. And then the second one the second tip I would give would be just be comfortable with yourself. Just be comfortable with yourself. Talk to your audience like you're talking to another human, which they are humans, but they're just more of them. So, um, and again, that brings me to my second or my third tip is just try to build a human-human connection with your audience. That's the whole key. That's the whole key. Come out and just make that human connection, and everything will be work out just fine, and the information will be told, and your message will be spread, and that's how things go viral as well. So, again, my name is Andrew Metlock, and I want to thank you for listening to my week 2 evaluation speech critique. Thank you very much.